What is up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to the Shoshimin series, this time with episode 5. Last week was a little bit underwhelming, to be honest with you. I thought it was a good episode. I think every episode's been good. The last three, in fact, have been fantastic in my opinion, but last episode was just good. I thought we didn't actually with a lot of the show, it's dialogue heavy, of course, and it's kind of a lot of theoretical talking and figuring things out, like likelihood and possibilities and percentages and such. But the fact that we didn't actually see too much of what was going on, I think, was a little. I hold against the show a little bit from last week. I wish you saw a few more scenes of the actual kind of identification. What was it called? I forget what the crime is called now. I wish we saw a bit more of the crime actually kind of like going down, and a bit more from the guy that stole the bike, if that makes any sense. But the game was good. I like the scenes of us kind of figuring things out. I like the final scene as well. With I forget the characters' names, but the girl getting splashed right at the end of the episode, and she's like, "I'm about to ruin these guys' whole lives." Again, I want to see her kind of go crazy. I want to see her unleashed at some point. I think we saw a glimpse of what she could do last week with her like busting them all, getting them all arrested, but I feel like she could maybe actually do worse than that. And as usual, I'm going to have to mute the episode just due to copyright purposes. I don't know which episode it was, but I'll have to look after this. But there's a reason I mute these, obviously. I don't know if I didn't get a strike, but perhaps because I think one of them got blocked, so no one could watch it. Again. This girl is going to that office quite often, which is not good if she wants to be an ordinary person, I don't think. Although again, maybe the argument is that normal people do get into situations where they do go to these council offices a lot. Maybe it's actually unnatural to never go. Funnily enough, it's weird to say this because people really don't like these. I kind of like I know it all kind of added up a little bit. I kind of like the episodic nature of the first few episodes. I think just like kind of JoJo's episodic nature does fit some shows better than others. Ugh. They've been pranking people. Huh? Yeah. Oh. Want to use lime, or maybe there was no mustard one. Maybe it was a. Interesting. How are we going to figure this one out then? Supposedly, again, maybe it's a possibility that none of them did. How could we be sure? Did they test before that one had them in and then gave them out? And you'd know if you ate mustard other than jam. And the whole thing as well is the weird thing. They didn't just take a bite out of this mustard one and say, "Oh, it's mustard." Whoever it is, if there is one, ate the whole thing. And like, why lie about this as well? Ah, it's a third party. Maybe he bought 5 and he took the one with mustard in and he just told him there was 4. I do understand some people's complaints to this show, like, what meaning is there to this? I understand where people come from with that, like, why are we discussing this? Why is this important? It's a good point. I like that. Funny, that's a negative for a lot of people. I really like the fact that that's the case. I did just miss a line of text there. This is a show where you don't really want to miss a line of text. But yeah, again, I like the fact that you could say it about any anime. You could say that about the biggest kind of masterpiece you've ever seen. In the end, it was a work of fiction. It was meaningless per se, but meaning is what you give something. Like, nothing has meaning inherently. I'm a little bit drunk right now, if you couldn't tell. I went to a wedding earlier today. Yeah, it's what meaning. Yeah, it's what you kind of place your interest and such in. Like, nothing is interesting just off the bat. You've got a point of view and you find it interesting. Other people don't, and that's absolutely fine. But again, I think the fact that this kind of means nothing is actually a bit of a kind of interesting contradiction to how important they make it seem. Sophomoric. It looks like he's right out of high Q. He's got that high Q haircut. Hmm. How would so this situation is going to take the whole club down? And you do actually get proper fucking people like this, proper rotten people that will just try any little way to bring people down and stuff. I don't know if that's meaningful, but that guy had a picture behind him of someone taking a picture, so maybe he's the one that we should be wary of. No, it's always a possibility. Third party is always a possibility. Perhaps it's a mixture of both. Perhaps it's a third party and him kind of covering for someone. Why? What is the plate? What is the plate? What's the significance of the plate? Classic horror fucking shot right there. That one on the left maybe overcompensating. That one on the left's got a lot to say about a simple pastry. I like the fact that they actually subtitled this in English. Thank you. They could have just not. It's nice that they did. There is there's the fluffy outer layer, and in it is a burst of really sweet jam. Two varieties of berry jam, maybe. Makishima. It was nice and sweet. It was a lot of jam. Itsukaichi. It was really, really sweet. Got my hands all messy. Monchy. Okay. So, a burst of really sweet jam. Sweet. Really sweet. Sweet. Really sweet. So there's two that use similar language. Two varieties of berry jam. A lot of jam. And got my hands all messy. So that's very specific to the taste of the jam. This one just says there's a lot, and this one says it's messy, which I guess these two also kind of link in a way. There being a lot of jam, and I guess he got his hands messy because there was a lot of jam coming out. This one again went awfully specific. I'd question that. I'd question this woman quite a bit. I think questioning her would actually be more beneficial, even if she's not, because I think she could pretty easily prove that she's not the one that. I don't know how. Don't get me wrong. I don't know how, but I don't know what question you should ask her. But I think she'd be the easiest to prove innocent out of the three. So maybe it's best to question her first, and then just leave it with two people, or perhaps again maybe because she's overcompensating. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna check I am recording. You all read that? Yeah, why even bring that up? You all read that. Some people just said it's sweeter than others. Two variations of berry jam as well. That's why it's so specific. It wasn't just the fact that she could tell it was jam. She thought there was two different types mixed together. No. How did you put it in a microwave? I mean, that would probably be a bit hard to tell between jam, spice, and mustard, but still, you'd realise you're eating that, surely. It doesn't really change much, does it? Potentially. I'm not going to pause it. It just said, please leave your gifts. I didn't read the bottom bit, but whatever. Perhaps he injected the sauce in a bit, and that bit was encapsulated by the pastry, and it just went straight down. It didn't ever touch the tongue, lips, or the inside of the mouth. It just swallowed whole, so they didn't notice. I thought Japanese people were pretty good with spice. Their wasabi and such. Did we just learn that, did we? Yeah, you guys have already discussed it enough for this not to be completed. It wasn't meant to be spicy stuff originally. That's the guy again, just purely based off of the background in that one shot of him. He's the guy I'm most suspicious of right now. I struggle with the fact that surely if you were going to fake that you ate it, surely you wouldn't just pretend that you didn't have the spicy one, but you'd pretend to have a reaction instead. You'd end up saying that you ate it and just pretend that your mouth's on fire when it's actually not. I feel like that would be easier than just like creating this fucking situation. Sorry, guys. Oh, that's interesting. You offered him a snack, but he refused. But maybe he thought, oh, you know what? I won't have a snack, but one of those pastries look nice. A lot of possibilities here, isn't there? Again, I'm saying all this stuff right now, but these are just like possibilities I'm coming up with. I don't really have any solid thought on what's actually the conclusive thing here. Seems like it'd be too hard to do that. I agree with that. I do agree with that. None of them ate it. I mean, this is almost like definite, right? Extremely spicy. I don't know. I feel like it's pretty hard to not show that you're suffering from spice. Yeah. So there was fire. I mentioned that earlier. That there could be more than 4. Okay. That's why he wasn't paying too much attention. Well, what would that person be doing? It does. I kind of feel bad for whoever did. I feel like this is a figuring this out. I mean, it helps us, but it can't stop the unfortunate thing that happened to whoever ate that pastry. You know, I feel like just leaving it here could be beneficial for these guys. I mean, I wanna know what it is, of course, but just like knowing it wasn't one of them will help them, right? And kind of settle their angstiness towards each other a little bit. It was the last entry. At male first year. It's an odd way to reference someone. No way. Ah, should have seen this coming. No way. This girl has got the worst luck. This girl has got the absolute worst luck you've ever seen. Yeah, make up for it. Fucking 6 plates, by the way. 6 plates. That girl is diabetes. Okay, pretty good episode today. Like I said, I like these kind of episodic episodes, to be honest with you. I feel like, just like JoJo, it fits the show really well, actually. In general, I really like an overarching kind of plot and story, of course. They're usually some of my favourites, but again, I love a JoJo, so pretty interesting one today as well, wasn't it? So it was a third party. Again, I'm never, you can never tell me, or I can never say to you guys that I knew. In the show, I'll never say that, yeah, I called that, because again, I just kind of spout possibilities, and I got quite a few correct today, but again, they weren't actually correct because I just spewed so many. Eventually, some of them are going to be correct, if you know what I'm saying. It's the game of probabilities. Like, oh, if I spit out 20 possibilities and there's like 100 situations, I got a 20% chance of one of them being correct. With this case, there was only so many possibilities, and I pretty much covered everyone. So yeah, if I ever tell you guys I was right and I knew, don't believe me. Yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. Again, good episode today. The mystery, there's never really too much to synopsize of these. Like, it was what it was. We saw the mystery of the pastries. Unfortunately, again, I don't know the names. Unfortunately, the girl who's had just terrible luck, splashed at the end of last episode, got bike stolen, the Ichigo tarts destroyed. She really hasn't had a great time. I can understand why she was like what she was like with luck like that. It's kind of hard for you not to be so like destructive. But yeah, do let me know what you guys think about this episode down in the comment section. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. I'll be back next week with episode 6, so I'll see you guys then, and have a good rest of your day, guys.